All right, 66, we've got a new set of directions. Write the quotient in the form a plus bi. Now, 66 may not be as intuitive as some of the other ones are, but you'll have to recall what we did earlier in the practice test, which was rationalizing a denominator. And that's exactly what we're going to do here, because if you recall, I is the same as radical negative 1. And so if I is the same as a radical negative 1, then we end up ostensibly with a radical in our denominator. And again, we don't want radicals in our denominator. So in order to get rid of this I, or radical negative 1, we want to multiply by the conjugate here. So we're going to multiply by 6 plus 9i and 6 plus 9i. And again, we're really multiplying by 1 here, right? Anything over itself is simply 1. So when we multiply our original rational expression by 1, we're not changing the value, we're simply changing the form. We're simply changing the way this expression looks. So let's go ahead, and as you might recall, I like to go ahead and put parentheses around my binomials here. You don't have to, it doesn't change anything, my preference. All right, so let's go ahead and start multiplying here. So we have 4 times 6, going to give us 24, and then 4 times 9i, going to give us 36i, and then over, and now we're multiplying here conjugates, right? You could FOIL these out, and if you did, you'll see that the two middle terms cancel. So to save some time, when you're multiplying binomials together and they're conjugates, you can just do your first to your first and your last to your last, always, when they're conjugates, meaning the only thing that's different is the sign in between the two terms that make up this binomial. So here we have a minus, here we have a plus, that's the only difference. Therefore, these are conjugates, and we can do first to first, last to last. So 6 times 6, well, that gives us 36, and negative 9i times positive 9i gives us minus 81i squared. All right, and now we've got to recall something that we learned just a couple of videos ago, and that was that I squared equals negative 1. All right, so let's go ahead and rewrite our expression now and plug in negative 1 for this I squared. So we have 24 plus 36i over 36 minus 81. And now we're going to plug in negative 1 for this I squared. And let's go ahead and simplify again. So we end up with 24 plus 36i over, well, 36, and now we have minus 81, right? Negative 81 times 1 is really plus 81. So we have here 36 plus 81, which is going to give us 117. All right, and now we could do one of two things. You could leave it like this, but it's probably best to go ahead and simplify. And to simplify, let's go ahead and rewrite this as 24 over 117 plus 36i over 117. And that way you can independently reduce each of these two terms now. So for our first term here, 24 over 17, I think 3 is going to go into each of these numbers. And so what we end up with is, in our numerator, we'll have 8 over, and then 117 divided by 3 is going to give us 39. And then here in our 36i over 117, I think 9 is going to go into each of these. So 36i divided by 9, well, that's going to give us 4i, right? Over, and 117 divided by 9 is going to give us 13. And so here we have our final answer. 8 over 39 plus 4i over 13. Sometimes you might see this I written off to the side here. I'm not sure what our answer key says. So you might either see this, or you might see 8 over 39 plus 4 over 13i. This way is more visually similar to the standard form A plus BI, which is what they're looking for, right? This would be A, this would be B, and then this is your I. But these two things are absolutely equivalent. So either way is fine. All right, so that was number 66. Let's go ahead and take a look at 67. I'll see you there.